Art is often viewed as the preservation of our culture. Whether we're talking about sculptures from the 17th century or the work of a local painter, all of it has value. And at some point, each will need to undergo some type of preservation. In this week's Finding Minnesota, Rachel Slavik got a behind-the-scenes look at how the Midwest Art Conservation Center keeps these important pieces intact.
When creating a work of art, the finished piece is always in mind.
The tubing was cut out to access that.
Meghan Emery understands this approach.
We have about 230 hours into this project at this time.
Even though her work isn't an original.
This is a sculpture by the artist Karl Eder, part of the movement of artists in Vienna in the late 1800s. So it's just here to get one big overhaul treatment to make it displayable again.
Meghan is among the conservators at the Midwest Art Conservation Center.
The difference between art conservation and restoration is the fact that we put a lot of effort into preserving the artist's original intent.
This is a print. As you can see, it's got that kind of overall brown color.
Each highly trained artists in their own right.
What we're doing is we're slowly introducing humidity into this chamber.
Tasked with restoring a piece to its original glory.
It's really purified water. It's actually so purified that we can't drink it. And it's just really amazing to see them sort of look like they originally did, or how they're supposed to, really.
The object dictates its treatment. So you have to really cater everything towards an individual object and project.
Tucked inside the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, this is one of only 5 centers around the country.
Very few people know this exists. Institutions, though, know us very well.
Each year, MAC conserves hundreds of pieces, unique in its ability to treat all 4 categories of materials.
Textiles, paper, objects, and paintings. And we have conservators in each lab.
Certainly, something like this would not be exhibitable in its present conditions. I think there's 142 inches of tears.
For David Marquis, that range has brought in work from some of art's most recognizable names.
I've worked on Van Goghs, I've worked on Cezanne, I've worked on a lot of major artists. I'm just taking off the top layer here.
Yet attention to detail doesn't differ, even if it's a local artist.
We treat it exactly the same.
There is no rushing the rehabilitation. Progress can take years.
To us, the most important thing is to always proceed carefully, never take anything for granted.
That commitment is more than conservation. David refers to it as resurrection.
People visit a museum, you want them to focus on the work of art, not on what's been repaired.
That paves the way for the preservation of culture.
We never use artistic creativity in the work we do.
Rachel Slavik, WCCO 4 News.
Another big part of MAC's work is preventive conservation. The organization spends a lot of time taking calls and offering assistance and advice on storage, lighting, and exhibition to conserve art. You can send us your Finding Minnesota ideas to WCCO.com. We appreciate them. Temperature